Look at that.
What happened to the music?
Cut it off. Brought you on.
I was rocking out to that shit, man. What was catchy though?
Yeah, that's actually Peter Gay, Liberty Memes admin 1.
Peter.
And this is David Gay with us, who drove 4 hours to come visit us for the stream tonight. This is Liberty Memes.
Greetings.
Hey, what's going on? I saw
Everybody.
you in at the Unconvention in Nebraska last year. And your
Yes, that was a very nice time there, indeed.
Ron Paul was there. That's my guy.
Yes, he was. He wouldn't take a pie though for some reason, but
Did Larry Sharp end up taking a pie?
I know. Did he throw the pie in my face? I can't even remember.
I think that
It was all quite
Larry's the
a
one who-
pie creamy blur,
Yeah,
quite
I think
frankly.
Larry's the one who gave you the cream pie.
I think so. It was very tasty. Also, I was very happy to be able to introduce the pie as a concept of fundraising for the libertarian community. I knew for a fact that so many libertarians actually hated each other that they would pay top dollar to smash a pie in each other's faces. And it truly worked out in a very wonderful fashion. And I heard at the national convention, it offered people a very healing experience to be able to throw a pie full force into a person that they really disliked for whatever reason. And bridges were made, fences were mended with whipped cream pie. Never underestimate the power of pie, friends. Just remember what that imaginary pie did to Augustus Invictus. Need I say more? For those of you who follow that sort of libertarian gossipy type of thing, but you know, I put a pie bounty on him, as you may know. I guess when he was scheduled to appear at the last Pennsylvania thing. Y'all from Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, that's where we're at. We're in Erie right now. He's from New York.
Yeah. And I took out a pie bounty. I thought people would like to put up money to pie him. Because you know, he just seems like that kind of guy. He'd enjoy some pie, and apparently I miscalculated that. I thought he'd be a good sport and say, "Come on and pie me, everybody." But no, he got very upset and responded in a very impolitic way, let us say. And it was his own words that acted as his own petard upon which he was hoisted and deplatformed himself, it seemed. But that's the way the whipped cream pie crumbles.
You know, pie has been working for us here in this group, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've been following today. We have Pizza Friday. And
Pizza pies. Pizza pies are pies.
So
I don't think I would want one in the face.
We haven't been
but
putting them in each other's face, but people just show up that maybe somebody's from a walk of life where they can't afford an exciting Friday with a pizza party. So other members of the group just hop right in and send them one. It's a lot of fun.
you know, that is something that I really, really like about your group. That I really like about the LM community is that you share, that you are sharing and caring libertarian. Now, let me say, back in the day, when I was a young person, I mean, I came up as a left anarchist. I am still an anarchist. But one of the things that stood in the way of me embracing the liberty and libertarian movement was my belief that there was not sharing, that there was not caring. And and once again, this was a prejudice. It was a prejudice of mine, and I admit this prejudice. And like many prejudices, they come from not knowing the people that you find are questionable. And once I started hanging and working and talking with libertarians on my way to becoming a libertarian, because I come from this tradition of a Kropotkin. I am more of a Kropotkin, mutual aid, helping ourselves by helping one another. And the term charity itself, it often stuck in my craw. But now I understand that it's simply a matter of semantics that was in my way of appreciating the sharing, the caring, and, if I may use the phrase without it being taken the wrong way, the mutual aid that libertarians present to each other and our community. Thank you. I'm Vermin Supreme.
Well, you know, part of the point of us doing that here in this group is actually to remove that moniker that we have, and actually we have it ourselves. We've taught ourselves not to be charitable with our rhetoric of saying, you know, don't touch my money, you know, don't touch this, don't touch that. It all belongs. It's my personal property. We have so much of this rhetoric as libertarians of don't touch my stuff that we forget that it's okay when it's not being forced on you.
Yes. I believe it may be a public relation problem that the libertarian community has to overcome to let the people understand that it is not as it necessarily seems.
Well, that's why we have Vermin Supreme to tell everybody for us.
Yeah, and I don't mind being a spokesperson in that capacity because it's a good word. People need to know it.
That's good.
No,
Okay, now I got to do it this way, right?
oh yeah, that's me.
I'm gonna stick it in your ear. See,
He belongs on this show. He's been watching the stream.
You could bite his ear if you want. You want to give it a little nibble?
There's a lot of kissing.
okay, yeah, that's good. Anyway, how y'all doing?
Doing great. Yeah, this is wild. This is turning out to be a very wild night for us.
Good. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy. I feel like I got a lot of love from the LM community, and like I said, I obviously heard of Liberty Memes. I think I was following the Liberty Memes for a bit, and then the big kerfuffle and the censorship and the zucking and then the Hydra effect where it became all these different things, and just to be able to have found you, I think that was very exciting for me. And then to find that you're utilizing the platform of memes and a meme community to do good works. And by your works, you shall be known.
It's true.
Now, how did you get started with all of this? Like, at what point did you get involved in politics? Was it just...
Well, it goes back quite a way, quite frankly. 1987 was the first time that I ever ran for office, but it wasn't political. It was really just something to do. I was bored and needed something to keep me busy, and felt that running for an office was a very sociable thing to do. It would be an opportunity to get out in public and campaign. And of course, at that point in time, that was in Baltimore in the late 1980s. I had been running a couple nightclubs, doing bookings and promotions, and sort of becoming this character of Vermin Supreme that originally was a club owner, a booking agent, all vermin, and I was the Supreme Vermin. And by working as in the nightclub zone, I obviously I was very tapped into the art weirdo scene. I was very tapped into the original independent music scene, and it was punk rock days. So having an unusual name was not unusual, and there was many art weirdos that were taking on characters, stage characters, and presenting that, and in many cases, people's the name stuck. And
I'm gonna just take 1 second here to actually take off these headphones and hand them off to David's wife, Mary, the people who actually live here, because I'm not here to usurp their live stream. I just wanted to surprise them with some good food tonight. I live 4 hours away, and I knew they had a big deal tonight, and I'm like the dad of the group.
Sushi.
They call me Dadmin because I guess I'm the admin who's the dad of the group, and I wanted things to go well, so I brought them a bunch of snacks and I wanted to make them happy. So I'm gonna actually get up and let Mary.
That is very thoughtful of you. Thank you for sitting in. Thanks for visiting. It was a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be part of your group.
I really appreciate your kind words about Liberty Memes and helping people understand that it's okay to be charitable libertarians, that in fact that's how we spread the word and how we make people more inclined to want liberty.
I think so. I mean, I've always maintained that if we are to be able to disengage from the government, if we are, we need to be able to provide the structures and the functions that the government does. I mean, obviously, as we wean ourselves away from the government, the transitional times are extremely important. I mean, because the welfare state is so huge and people are so dependent on it that it's incumbent upon us to be able to demonstrate that there are reasonable alternatives. We need to show reasonable people that we have reasonable alternatives to these situations, and just not toss off the word charity. Charity's going to do it. Because I don't think just saying, the charity will take care of it, the people do stuff in charity. I just don't think that is a reasoning enough for people to understand that could actually happen and will be a fact.
I brought sandwiches, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you.
Wish we could share with you, Vermin. Hi, by the way, I'm Mary. I'm the other half of the late night show.
David.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
I'm well. Thank you for coming.
I'm going to go upstairs on your couch and watch on my phone.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I'm sorry. The house is so messy.
Did you wake up your children to play with the other children?
Yeah,
I woke up our oldest because he would be so upset if he did not get to play with Kidman,
Don't look
who's
around
also
too
named
much.
David.
It's a mess.
That's good.
So yeah, I'm getting acclimated now to speaking with adults.
And Vermin Supreme.
And Vermin Supreme, yeah.
Adults and Vermin Supreme.
All the time.
Soda from Wegmans.
Oh, I've never had one of these.
So
They're
where
the fancy
we're at right
sodas.
now is I actually asked one more question.
Hey, if they're not paying for product placement, I would not be showing that shit on Steam. If they are not your sponsors, just why bother? I'm sorry.
No,
That's just the way I feel.
Okay,
So what was the question you asked? I had a bunch of questions.
How you got started
written
out in it, and then
Okay.
and he explained it.
Okay. Did we talk about the boot at all? Did we get
Not
to
at all,
talking about
no.
how the boot
We've
came
actually
about?
we've talked about Liberty memes and stuff like that. He's
Oh,
been,
good.
Yeah, Dadman was.
Oh yeah. The boot, of course. I have a number of hand quips that I throw around with it when people ask me on the street. For example, I will often say it stands for all that is good with America. If they demand more, I'll say, well, in America, I can wear a boot on my head, and therefore it stands for that. I will oftentimes tell the media that the boot is a pile of shit, and the flies are the media that buzz around it. And so I deconstruct it like that. Obviously, the boot is a signifier. It's a sign to the people that I'm approaching or that are seeing me coming at them in whatever format that what they are going to experience may not be linear.
Mm-hmm.
If you take my photograph and in any situation, any crowd, any place, any time, and you show it to a child and say, "What's wrong with this picture?" Boom! That guy has a boot on his head, and so essentially, it's a culture basher. It's just it's absurd. It's a non sequitur, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it's also, if I'm in a crowd, it's the tallest point of reference.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize for a long time until this person pointed that out. So it's a media magnet, if you will. Yes. It draws attention. It lets say in riot world or in a big demonstration, I'm easy to find, easy to spot, and in case somebody's or whatever. It came about surely as a goof. It was rainy one day at a rainbow gathering, and I had a pair of galoshes, and I was going to put them on, and I did. I put one on my foot and one on my head. My foot got wet, my head stayed dry, but people responded in a very positive fashion to the fashion statement. And that was probably in 1990, and then in 1991 was my first East Coast tour, where I ran for mayor of the Eastern Seaboard. It was 10 cities, 14 days, and essentially it was a sort of a domino effect tour. It was I hitchhiked to Hoboken. I was calling up people. It was before the internet, so I was calling random a list of anarchists and rainbow gathering lists. and asking people, "Hi, my name's Vermin Supreme. I'm running for mayor of the Eastern Seaboard. Could you put me up? Could you feed me? Could you print up some flyers for me? Would you put a benefit on for me? Could we do this and that? And could you drive me around and all?" And usually they would put me up, and the only hard thing was they would have to drive me to my next campaign stop. So they would put me up. I would go campaign for the day. Maybe they'd put on a show for me. We'd crash some other show or some such. But it worked like that. And 10 cities. It was one of my first times sort of as a solo, as an individual, just me, a backpack, my demon doll, Spudhead McGee, who was my vice president that year. Many strange and wondrous adventures, interactions with police, trying to figure out if I was crazy or needed some help. They chased me out of town, out of Hoboken, New Jersey. They literally said get out of town by sundown. It was a learning experience, quite frankly, and learning how to engage with reality on my terms. As a full-on whatever it is that I might be, an individual who happened to decide to wear a boot on his head and say spout off crazy shit.
And run.
Now, once again, of course, back in those days, I was a young fucking hippie. I was fully red beard and long hair, and I think it was much easier dismissed. I think it was like, oh, look at that crazy ass hippie kid. Whereas now, I'm an elder statesman.
Right.
Of wingman.
Deserving of respect.
Yes.
Yeah. There's gravitas. I mean, look at this face. Look at the lines. I mean, that's some fucking serious gravitas shit there. And of course, early on, my campaign outfit was considerably more neo street biking. It was sort of coveralls with human wigs all over it for epaulets, and it was just a slightly more bizarre, weird presentation, I guess.
Hey, you really crystallized it now. I like the...
Yes, I love it. Now, you...
Yeah. I think I just got lucky. I found something that people really respond to. I mean, there's a simplicity, there's an elegance, and there's this full-on effectiveness. And it's truly a blessing, and that people respond so well to the very effective zombies. I'm finding platform planks that resonate with the whole world pretty tricky, but I've been very lucky. Toothbrushing, everybody touches their toothbrush at least once a day, I hope. And so you start talking about toothbrushing, people understand, they can relate to toothbrushing. And then when the mandatory toothbrushing law came to me, it was inspired by the Massachusetts seatbelt law. Massachusetts was the first state in the country that mandated seatbelt use. And they had these stickers, buckle up, it's the law.
Yes.
And I just said, what could be stupider than that? And not that it's not a good safety idea, mind you, and not that the state doesn't have a vested interest in making sure they're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on people who fly through the windshields. But should it be something that the state can interfere with you for?
Exactly.
And I said, well, toothbrushing. That would be about the next thing that could possibly happen. Yes. And interestingly enough, the state of Massachusetts is the only state in the nation that actually has a mandatory toothbrushing law on the books. It's for preschool students, and parents must opt out, or else the children will be lined up and have their teeth brushed, which I think is great.
That's insane. It's also really bothering me that he's upstairs cleaning our kitchen right now.
He's cleaning our kitchen?
He just said
the dishwasher
very nice.
You can load it up if you want.
He's judging my chili that I have in the crock pot because I put mushrooms in it.
I did not clean my house and he showed up. Okay, so that is one thing I love, though, the caricature that you have created, the mocking of the
whole system.
The whole entire system.
Yeah, from from the politician that'll offer you anything
Yes.
that your little heart desires.
Yes. I love it.
Yes, I think I got very lucky because I just found a very small niche. I mean, because it's running for president, it's a national and international event. Now, granted, there's probably 1,500 people who declare for presidency, but that's great, and that's one of the other things I love about it because it's a self-declarative statement. Once you say, "Hi, I'm running for president," it becomes an established fact. Truly, no one can dispute it. No one can say it's not real because once you say it is, it is. Now, you might not ever say it again. You might not get anybody to vote for you. You might not get a nickel in campaign contributions. But no one can deny that you have decided to run for president, and it's a magic phrase. Much like my boot is magic. There's much like there's so much magical paperwork in the world. The fiat currency. It's a magical piece of paper. There's so much. The U.S. Constitution, in a sense, I mean, it's a magic piece of paper that has these words on it that gives us certain behavioral guidelines that allow me to do certain things. So, I like to hold up my imaginary piece of paper in front of the riot cops and whatever, and operate from the belief that I have these rights to do these things, but they're enshrined in magic paper.
Yeah.
Yes, magic paper. I love that.
This is beautiful.
It is.
And speaking of magic paper,
Talk about your
time for me to promote my new book. Let me see if I can get it in my camera because it's very tricky. Everything's backwards here. It's called I, Pony, Blueprint for a New America. And this book is available at iPonythebook.com or iPonybook.com. And this is a book. It's a look at the future long after a Vermin Supreme presidency, long after everyone has their pony, zombie power fuels the nation, time travel is used as a foreign policy implement, and the secret dental police have checkpoints every couple hundred yards or so. Essentially, this book is a warning from the people of the future to you, the people of the present, that Vermin Supreme is a madman and must be stopped. Welcome once again to a story time with Vermin Supreme. Right. And if I would, I'd like to read just a few short bits here and there during this evening's interview. Is that okay?
All right, absolutely.
Buckle your seatbelt.
Okay. Yes. Let me pop on my reading eyeballs here, and I don't wear them in public, of course. But Rick Perry says they make you look smarter, and I got to agree, right? Am I right?
I'm rocking them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is sort of the setup of the novel. This is one of the setup pages. I think it's in chapter 1 or something. The air was clean. Alfalfa grew everywhere. The chirping of songbirds filled the air. The sweet scent of pony pea tickled one's nostrils. Pony dust and dander danced in the sunbeams. Fluttering butterflies frolicked with unicorns under rainbow skies. By unicorns, of course, it was meant ponies that had had a horn surgically implanted into their forehead. Lab unicorns were still a long way away. The only known prototypes of lab unicorns had turned out to be frightening mutants. The beautiful rainbows that crisscrossed the skies were just the latest and most colorful blend of incredible chemtrail technology. Geoengineering had never been so wonderfully prismatic. It was just gorgeous. The butterflies were not real butterflies, of course, butterflies having reached extinction long ago. No one alive today had ever seen a real one. These butterflies were little mini recon spy drones. They sure were pretty. They mimicked the living butterflies' movements of flight very well. The sound of the songbirds was synthesized from speakers mounted in the artificial trees. Needless to say, there were no songbirds. Thank you. That's a little excerpt from my new book, I Pony, Blueprint for a New America. And of course, you can get a copy of this book absolutely free with a $50 campaign contribution to Pony Up America. If you go to verminsupreme.com and contribute $50 to my 527, registered with the IRS, a political organization that exists only to raise and spend funds, you will get this amazing book. And that's not all. Because you get a choice. For a $50 campaign contribution, you have your choice of that book or a Vermin Supreme glitter tie. That's right. Glitter tie autographed in glitter by Vermin Supreme. The perfect and most amazing necktie gift for the Vermin Supreme fan in your life. For a non-fan, not so much. But up here you can see that they come in many different colors and styles to choose from. Although you don't get to choose, I just pick one out and throw it in an envelope for you. Anyway, so that's very exciting. My new book, the second edition, it's got like so much freaking artwork in it, you wouldn't believe it. It's super cool. What else? Oh, what else is new? The Vermin Supreme bumper stickers are out. Yep, that's right.
There it is.
That's right. And I got them cheap. I got them in rolls. Freaking these giant freaking rolls of Vermin Supreme stickers.
Nice.
And so I'll send you like a roll of 50 or a roll of 100 for short money. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Put them everywhere.
Because that's the beautiful thing of this 527. If I can raise money, I can spend money. The more money I get people to give me, I get to spend on stupid shit. And I get to send them some of the stupid shit that their money pays for. Some of it pays for my travel to various conventions and God knows what. But it's an amazing scam. I don't know if you've ever seen did you ever see the Great Rock and Roll Swindle? It was about the Sex Pistols. And it's a little bit like that. But if I could achieve federal election matching funds. Did I mention I was going for that?
Oh, that's huge.
That's a thing. That's my threshold goal. If I can raise I've got to get in front of the camera. $5,000 in each of 20 states, then the Federal Election Commission will double that money. Free fucking money. That's right. Now, what I can hear everybody's little libertarian heads exploding. No. Say, "Oh no, that's tax money. That's theft. You can't do that." Well, friends, let me assure you that this is not tax money at all. Now, this is a checkbox. Granted, it's on the tax form, but it's a voluntary contribution to public elections. People check it off and they give a couple bucks, and that, my friends, is the pool of money that I am attempting to tap into with your help. Oh, good. My crazy eyes look so much crazier without the foggy glasses. Yes. So let's go with it. That's right, friends. I need your help. Together, we can ride our ponies into a zombie-powered future. Did I mention that I am the only libertarian candidate for the nomination that actually might possibly get 5%? I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Spoken into reality.
That's maybe right. That could happen.
Totally.
Hold on, I'm late on this, but I gotta do the.
Dave wants to get some applause here for you. Here, if you can hear the applause. I'm once again. I mean, first of all, I'm the only candidate in the libertarian field that has released their dental records. Okay. Oh.
These are my dental records.
That's huge.
For your perusal. This is my teeth. This is my mouth. They are not perfect teeth. You can see that I've had work here and there, but these are my actual dental records, and I challenge each and every other candidate. Bill Weld hasn't released his dental records, has he? No. Kokesh? No. Arvin? No. Leader? No. Berman? No. Anybody? Kim? No. Have I seen your? No. So here you go. So we got that going for you. I mean, There you go, right there.
Yeah, what are they trying to hide?
What are they trying to
What
hide in their dental?
what are they soft on plaque? I think that's what we really have to ask ourselves.
Probably pony haters too.
They probably do.
Apparently
I love that you call
so.
Chris Christie a pony.
Woo! Get a little hot in here.
If people want to know if there's anything in the bag.
Hey, turn this into a gift. Oh, sorry about that.
That's
That's
fantastic.
okay. This is what we.
Now, do you have anything in the boot that keeps it up?
Yeah. You just gotta. Well, when it starts to get a little flaccid, you just gotta rub it a little bit.
Give it a twist and rub.
Yeah. Just, yeah. Well, it is lined with tinfoil, and that's good to know.
That's important.
That's very important.
All right.
Can I ask you, what is your opinion on taxation? I mean, I know you poke fun about being theft, but I mean, what do you really think about it?
I believe that taxation can be made fun. Okay, number one, if taxation is made fun, people will like it. I think taxation just gets because the lottery, that's like a tax sort of. So what if for every dollar that you paid into the U.S. Treasury, you got a scratch ticket? Now that would be okay, right? You would voluntarily want to do that, and so that's part of my tax form overall. Is the scratch tickets for your tax dollars. Sure.
I didn't know.
And you get to choose things. You get to check off whatever boxes you want the money to go to and stuff like that. Just like all voluntary. It's all voluntary. It's all. Wait! Don't tell me. Okay. No, I got it. I got the answer. Hold on. Okay.
It's coming in.
Okay. Get ready, and you can quote me on this. Okay. Okay. Taxation is theft. Thank you. So there, I said it. I know that's a litmus test for many of us libertarians, and I said it. So if you're considering being a delegate for me in Austin, I said it, okay, and I believe it too. And I ain't gonna steal your money either, even if I'm the government. So that's all good.
And I don't
you.
think we have to ask.
Now, who's gonna build the internet roller coaster? You might ask.
Yeah, the interstate. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make Disney pay for it.
We should. We've been giving them our money voluntarily for long enough.
We should make Disney pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, during the transitional times to a libertarian utopia, well, yeah, of course we're going to still use a few of the governmental tools, just a few.
Just a little bit of violence.
Yeah, just enough.
What do you do in your spare time when you're not out there doing this kind of stuff and running for president and everything? What is for fun? What do you do?
Well, for fun, I make glitter ties.
Oh
yeah.
And the glitter.
So you're almost always working.
Do you have a?
Well, yeah, not always, because I'm a little like this other guy in that I have my own 18-hole mini putt-putt golf course in the woods here where I live. I live up on the tip of Cape Ann and Massachusetts, a little house in the woods, and life is good. And,
it's beautiful.
I just enjoy nature. I enjoy the ocean. Obviously, I'm enjoying making it to various events. A lot of times, a lot of people try and get me to various events. I am also a college speaking guy. If you know any college kids, hey kids, put your student debt for work. Bring me to your campus. That's right. If you're going to pay all that student debt, you may as well get something out of it, and that something may as well be a memory that lasts you a lifetime of me being in your campus. It'll be a lot of fun. I've been promoting my latest documentary. Rod Weber's the documentarian made a recent film called "This Is Vermin Supreme." It covers my 2016 campaign from beginning to end, pretty much, and a lot of the wacky fun that occurred in all the demonstrations and riot world at the conventions and and just a whole lot of intensity. Standing Rock, we did a little bit of time out there and stuff. And of course, it is a sequel to the other movie that Steve and Derek made in 2013 called "Who Is Vermin Supreme?" I don't know if you saw that one.
I've seen it, but I've read about it.
Okay, yeah, you should see it. Couple bucks will get it's a great infomercial. If you have any questions as to how serious my whole shebang is, or because a lot of people they ascribe different levels of import to it. And I'm totally down with that. And, some people think Vermin, what you do is very, very important. And other people are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And, I think it's all valid. And I think it's almost funnier when they just think it's really stupid. Mm-hmm. And, but, for me, it operates on a lot of different levels. It's primarily been a tool for me to push forward, my critique of the way things are. And really amplify my voice and free speech about 1 million times.
Yeah.
If I was just a normal looking dude, or if I was just wearing a regular clothes, if I was on the street corner without a boot, just trying to talk sensible talking points, it would be just much more easily ignored, and certainly wouldn't have the crazy following. Because in this day and age, I think because my original presentation in the 2012 debate where I glitter bombed Randall Terry.
Epic classic video.
Right.
Yes, that was a very beautiful moment in time. It was a moment that changed America.
Right.
That whole scene, yeah.
And of course, it was the moment that I went viral. Because I had been doing essentially, the similar same thing for 20 years prior. But it pushed me out there in that way and turned me into a living meme.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's Liberty Memes, an organization is essentially based on memehood. You can certainly have an appreciation for living memes, and unlike a lot of memes, some say it's the forcing of the meme, but nonetheless, I believe I've had a lot more longevity than a lot of memes, and perhaps an ongoing relevance that a number of memes simply did not have or do not have.
Definitely.
So there's that.
Yeah, you're a meme with purpose. There's a meaning.
Yes, absolutely, and it's really fun to see the way that my image and likeness has been used and utilized to put forth different viewpoints, and even the last election cycle, there was they took the classic picture of me at the debate, and it went around. It said, "This is what Bernie Sanders looks like to sane people," and it went out around the right wingosphere. It went viral, and then all of a sudden it bounced back, and somebody recaptioned it. This is what Donald Trump looks like to sane people. Boom, and that went big in leftosphere world, and so it's still me. And it's great that these people can do that with me, and yet I can use myself in this thing that I've created to just continue the critique. And I'm offering, I feel as if though I'm a seasoned politician in a way, an alternative one, truly. And I feel like I'm not so much running for the nomination as I am offering my services to the Libertarian Party as a candidate, as a spokesman, as a front person. Now, once again, there are a number of reasons why I would be a very good, if not the best candidate that the Libertarian Party could field. However, there are also arguments against it, legitimate arguments against it and concerns against it. And if I wasn't me, I think I would have these concerns. But I think the number one that I've encountered primarily is the Libertarian Party does not want to be seen and does not want to be perceived as a joke party. And, sure, some people, throw it off, oh, they already are, but, that's not true. It's a serious party with serious ideas and serious vision. And I believe that with the proper framing, that a serious party can put up a joke/protest candidate and not have the shit stick to them. If they can frame it such as, yes, we are the Libertarian Party. We have very strong beliefs. We have very strong ideas, ideals, We have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who follow this set of beliefs, and we got a plan. However, it pivots. The current electoral system for presidency in America is broken. It is a joke, and therefore, with love and spite, we present this guy, Vermin Supreme. Ha ha ha! Jokes on you. Inevitably, of course, there will be blowback. I mean, I when I've run as a Democrat, the Republicans say, "Oh, look at that crazy, Democrat." When I was a Republican, the Democrats say, "Oh, look at the crazy Republican."
Right.
So yes, we will get that, but I think it's in the messaging, and I believe that I can message it. I have pledged, and I am making a pledge that the Libertarian Party platform is what I will be repping. Now, granted, I will be talking ponies and zombies and nonsense.
Yeah.
But I will also be pivoting and perhaps using these examples as demonstrations for the platform itself, because I do believe that if I am chosen or even seriously considered, that it's a candidate's job to represent the party. And that's what I'm willing and I'm offering to do.
I love it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That is
It's no con. It's not like during the mid-campaign I'm going to go, aha, I'm Vermin Supreme and I was joking. No, and that's a concern, and you just have to take my word on that one. But anybody who's familiar with my work pretty much knows where I'm from, where I've come from, and where I am now. And I welcome your questions. I welcome your concerns. I welcome your comments. I welcome your assistance on my campaign. I'm looking for state coordinators, delegates, and generous campaign contributions. All that shit. I mean, my campaign in the imaginary world, obviously, it's a monster. I mean, it spans universes and galaxies. I mean, it's all right here in my new book here. But it gets interesting when it meets the real world, and now it's meeting the real world a little bit. I've got developing my campaign staff. I'm feeling confident about it. We're trickling, and things have potential. It's always been. Let me tell you this: it's always been a campaign of infinite potential.
Yes.
And I have brought it to a certain level that I, as a person, can bring it to. But this year is very, very different in that I'm so far ahead of anywhere I've been because of my welcoming into the Libertarian Party. Number one, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be a libertarian with you all, and to come to the realization that we have so much in common. That yes, and realizing that I can put forth the libertarian platform and say yes, this is what we believe in. And so there you go. I don't know what else is it. I am a meme. I'm running. What else you got?
that was beautiful.
Can you say the name of your site again, because people are asking where they can donate?
Verminsupreme.com.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
I got it back from the porno bots. It was a real problem. After the last election, I don't know. I didn't know. I still don't know too much about the internet. Yeah. But the domain lapsed, and some porno bots picked up on it, and they used my same layout. So there was my picture, there was the same text, and these porno bots inserted like horny humping teen moms in mandatory toothbrushing. And the high school kids are all like, "Oh, Vermin Supreme," and their parents were like, "Let me look this up." And the kids are like, "Oh, teacher, can we talk about Vermin Supreme?" And the teacher and the principal look at Vermin. No, what the? And so it was a real problem, but that problem's gone. Now let me throw out a few figures. Speaking of high school kids, in any given high school year, there's 3.6 million students graduating from high school. So give me 2 years, 2019, 2020. That's 7 million graduates, high school students. In college students in any given year, there are very close to 17 million. So, you add the two, that's a pool of 24 million. Now, in order to be a successful libertarian candidate, in my understanding, it's not to be president. That's, it's not a realistic goal, but the 5%. 5% is the gold standard for a candidate. And so that equals there was 130 million voters in the last election, and that means 6.5 million. That's a whole lot of voters. Can we do it? Yes, we can, people. Yes, we can. If we put it forth, if we make it viral, if we get 1 out of every 3 of those kids, yes, there are 5 comic cons alone that 1 million people attend, 1 million different people. Can we get that 1 million people? Can we get the Comic Con vote? Oh, yes, because my audience is wide. It's very wide. I was saying, that glitter bomb thing, it was perceived to be nonpartisan.
Yeah.
So I was embraced across the political spectrum, left and right, and everything in between. I have a very wide, very shallow appeal. And if we can mobilize that, as a protest vote alone, there are so many millions of Americans that are so disgusted with politics that if Vermin Supreme is on the ballot as a libertarian, they will vote. It will be a fuck you. I understand that, there will be many people voting for the Libertarian Party because we stand for certain things, yes, but there will be others that are voting because Vermin Supreme has a boot on his head.
Yeah, you got the anarchist vote. You must do amazing with the furries.
With the furries.
Indeed. Furries, bronies, you name it. Essentially, nerd culture. And, the umbrella is nerd geek culture. And it's certainly in fetish communities, the crypto enthusiasts, the comic, all of it. Anything under that umbrella are natural constituents of mine.
I'll tell you what.
And we can mobilize them.
I'm watching the comments coming through, and you're flipping a lot of people in this group right now. they're loving us, and you're getting a lot of the anarchists in this group that just don't believe in voting at all, who may actually.
Anarchists are my natural constituent base. Early on in my political career, I was concerned that I might be encouraging people to vote. I'm over that now.
You can write an.
I'm old. I'm cynical. I don't give a fuck. The number of fucks I do not give is legendary, and that indeed makes me a very attractive candidate to many.
Amen. Wow, this is fantastic.
I want to ask you about, you go to, we've seen video clips of you at demonstrations and things, and standing there on the front lines, face to face with the police.
I love this.
Who I feel like we have been kind of
They're all turtled up.
Yeah, and that we're taught to fear, because they're here or they're around. And you stand there and you talk to them about, like, let's just let this happen. What are you saying to them? And do you ever feel intimidated? Has there ever been an instance where you've been in at a demonstration and you felt scared? What is any stories you have dealing with that? I've never been to anything that wild, so.
Well, over the years, I've developed a very good situational awareness. You can sort of tell when shit's going to go bad, but sometimes it catches you by surprise also. And you just have to keep your wits about you and keep on keeping it on. I think essentially it just boils down to a glorified camp counseling in a way. It's just creating the illusion that you are more important or have more power than you actually do. It's assuming command authority position. It's demanding a certain amount of behavior. It comes back to the U.S. Constitution. It comes up to me having to believe that document protects me. That it's a magic that white light. And another thing that allows me to do what I do. Hold on, I'll do my Donald Trump for you. Thank you. One of the things that allows me to be able to do this is the knowledge that people are watching my back. I'm up there facing them. I may be in front of everybody, but that means everybody's behind me, and they are watching my back. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's a constituent service. I am interacting on behalf of my constituents, and I'm trying, and in the capacity, if you will, of sort of a combination rodeo clown and hostage negotiator.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Combo.
Yes,
I like it.
and of course, I mean, in a multi-day demonstration, I have certain strategies. On the first day, I may do things. I try and be bigger. My movements are bigger. I'm speaking. I'm trying to pretend and project this belief, this illusion that I'm like some guy. And of course, now they just have to Google me. Now that I'm probably included in like briefings actually. But in the past, they just make this assumption that don't fuck with that guy. Number one. So I think I got that going now. Starting in 2012 when I went viral, I think it gave me a lot of leeway. If you watch that movie, The Who Is Vermin Supreme, you'll see that I found myself behind police lines. I am now at a point in doing it that I can demand to see a commanding officer, and after playing with the line cops quite a bit, I'll play with the fuckers quite a bit, and then I'll just demand to see a CO, and more often than not, they will send me a CO. And I will find out what the hell their objectives are, and I will tell them what mine are. And if they overlap, I will tell the people this is what the cop is saying. You don't have to do it, but that's what they're looking for. For example, because I don't really care if people are doing what they're doing, but I want to know what the fuck the cops think they're doing.
Right.
I will call the cops on their bullshit. Now I'm at a point where I've been doing the New Hampshire primary so long. Secret Service will sometimes come up and have the gall to say, I'd like to ask you to go over there. And I'm like, listen, if that is not a lawful command, I don't want to hear it. If you do not have, if it is just a request, fuck off. I mean, don't even bother me with your bullshit request.
Yeah.
If you have something that's going to say, you do this or I'm going to arrest you, well, then we can talk and I'll think about it. And we'll talk a lot about it. But yeah, I mean, it's taken many years to get to this point, and doing it many years. Like anything, it was practice, and hopefully getting better and learning. And of course, one of the things I love to do in riot world is read to them from riot cop manuals.
I love
Yes.
that.
I like to train them up. Are y'all trained up? Oh, and nobody raised their hand, so I get to read to them. And granted, I mean, what I read is edited for brevity, but it's not, it's not misleading. I mean, I will edit it. There's this one piece I read that's an FBI manual that describes riot cops with their shields, and the crowd's being intimidated for about 5 minutes, and then they start throwing shit because you have missile magnets.
Yeah.
And I like to read that because but I don't read the rest of it, which starts to describe a more effective extraction method or some shit,
Yes.
So it's good, it's honest, and for the people. I'm the people's candidate.
Okay. Oh, Dadman wants to ask a question real quick.
Yes, sir.
See, I'm wearing this Ron Paul shirt, and I want to know what you'll do with the Federal Reserve System.
Well, sir, have you heard of the Federal Pony Reserve?
The Pony Reserve. He's.
The Federal Pony Reserve will be during the transition times. Everything's on the table. That, and of course, everything with the word federal in the title will in fact have to be federal. None of that private bullshit. I'm looking at you, FedEx.
Taking over.
So that's all I'm saying. If you're going to use the word federal, you better be federal. And of course, audit the fuck out of the pony fed.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe they have the $1 trillion the Pentagon lost.
Oh, maybe.
Oh! Hey, and let's go to Fort Knox and look at the gold, people.
Right.
But let me tell you, speaking of Ron Paul, and I would like to say this, in 2012, I had a wonderful encounter with him. It's on the internet. If you type in Vermin Supreme Ron Paul, and I'm not talking about Moe's Diner. That's a very different one. I know some people got upset about that one, where I was blocking his onto his vehicle, but that good time. But when I shook his hand and I asked him flat out if he supported mandatory toothbrushing laws, and he told me yes. And I asked him, how would we pay for these mandatory toothbrushing laws? And he responded to me, we will print lots of money.
Wow.
And then when I asked him,
Ron Paul.
if he would go back in time with me to kill baby Hitler, he said to me, "Sounds risky." And they drove away.
He didn't.
Ron Paul, soft on baby Hitler.
Oh,
Soft.
no.
Not. He didn't give you a definite. No.
He didn't say.
He wiggled out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, that is one of the beautiful things about my candidacy, that I can pivot on a dime, and if I don't feel like answering it in a serious fashion, then it will be an absurd fashion. So you can count on that. If I had been asked about Aleppo, and I had have said it is my favorite type of pony, there would have been no
Yeah.
problem.
Not at all.
That's all I'm saying.
Campaign would go on as usual. There would
Yes.
be no gap.
Yes.
I want to
No
see,
gap.
I wanna
No
see
gaps
you
here.
up on the stage during the debates.
Yeah, and so once again, if the Libertarian nomination, if I'm the Libertarian nominee for presidency, I believe that the polls would have to include, and that for the sheer lulls of it, that we could probably reach 15%. How could people not want to see that on national TV?
Right.
Amen.
So there is that.
There is that.
There's just that that curiosity.
Yep.
There is
More
that.
curiosity.
Yes.
What would happen?
How much do you travel when you're campaigning for presidency? How much are you traveling around?
Well, let me tell you that this year has been very interesting. Traditionally, and for a number of years, the campaign itself was mainly consisted of a week or two in the New Hampshire primary, and the convention, ultimately, and the rest would be on the internet. But it was simply those events alone, and the inauguration, but those 4 events alone that propelled me to this level in the media consciousness, if you will. So there is that, and of course the budget, it was nothing. In many years past, I've certainly spent under the $5,000 that would require me to file with the FEC. Generally, it was like about $3,000, a grand to get on the New Hampshire primary ticket, and a couple grand for bumper stickers, maybe another grand for travel. So if my secret and devious plan to raise lots and lots of money and have it doubled, the sky is the limit, pretty much, and skywriting is certainly a legitimate campaign expense, as is live ponies.
Yeah, I've seen.
I already have 2 pony owners in the great state of New Hampshire that are willing to arm their ponies with AK-47s and march them up to the State House with me. So there is that also.
Now I've seen you shooting guns on the internet. You're okay with guns?
Yeah, fuck guns. Yeah, the Second Amendment is the most important motherfucking amendment of all time.
It protects all the others.
Said, yes. Can I pander? Yes, I can.
Beautiful.
I got plenty of friends with guns. Let me tell you.
What happens when you are campaigning, and you meet other people who are out there campaining? What do you get resistance from them?
Are you talking about legitimate campaign? Bigger national candidates and shit.
Yeah, the one that. Yeah, once.
Yeah. When the real, the cruises, generally, once again, it's sort of different now. But in the past, there are people. Nobody likes to see me coming down the street towards me. Nobody likes to see Vermin Supreme, in their vicinity, because they know that some zany hijinks, shenanigans will be taking place, that Vermin Supreme will be really trying to get right up to your candidate and ask them some stupid question. And it's a little bit of a game. And, at various times, at various points, there's been, scuffles and violence. Rick Santorum's GOP goons, knocked down a couple of my film people. Rudy Giuliani's goons thumped me around a little bit while I was trying to present him with a clown nose. So, I mean, this shit happens. Rod Weber, the filmmaker who also does, he's Flower Guy. He not only is he made the documentary about me recently, but he did his own thing where he was giving flowers to the candidates and trying to get them to pray for world peace with them. And he was making a movie about that experience called Flowers for Peace. Look it up. And and he started attending all these different rallies. Went very well with Jeb, John Kasich. He was playing guitar for John Kasich, and he became like part of the show. He was being co-opted in a way, but then he was doing Trump rallies, and he became the victim of violence. And he just recently completed a lawsuit against Donald Trump, the Manchester, New Hampshire Police Department, and some FBI flaky asswipe who was involved in the assault. And so, there's political violence. There's no denying it. Emotions run high. And luckily, usually I can, I don't know, anecdotally, people will say they feel a lot safer with me around in a big demonstration. And I personally guesstimate that maybe I, minimize, the risk of violence by 30% or something, maybe.
Wow.
But a lot of that is avoiding crowd panic. I mean, crowd panic is a simple thing to avoid. Just say, hey, people, you have a way out this way. You're not boxed in. And please walk, don't run. And, describing the effects of different crowd control and crowd control weapons that the cops might be using. Just sort of, letting the people know, because not everybody there on the street has any idea what the hell's going on. A lot of them, it's their first demonstration. And they just are ripe for the picking. And, fear is a weapon of the cops. It's their number one weapon. And it's a weapon, the easiest one that I can foil, simply through being a jokester and having a good time with them. And, traditionally, I'm not mean towards them. I'm having fun with them. But getting them to question what their deal is. One time, I very much enjoyed this one. I think you will too. It was in Chicago. It was at the NATO summit. There was this long police line on one side of the street. And I went up to every cop on the line and I said, am I free to go? Excuse me, officer, am I free to go? And I forced the cop to say that they did not know. Because the cop did not know, because he was a line cop or she was a line cop, and they weren't informed as to why they were there or what they were doing. They were just told to stand there. And so I took advantage of this and repeated this to over 100 different cops. Am I free to go? Eventually, I would come up to a sergeant or something, and they'd say, yes, you are. And then I would just continue going on, am I free to go? Just essentially to show how fucking powerless they actually were in that situation. Because, they can't even piss without fucking flagging down their goddamn commanding officer. They are chafing. They are out in the sun. They are bored. They are a very captive audience, and I very much like to propagandize them. It's always a lot of fun. That's
great. Yeah. That's
and once again, it's a transferable skill, and it's something that I could give workshops on for anybody who's interested. I know you got a big enough crowd there that there's probably people who do performance, people who do comedy, people who do MC work, and really it's just being a master of ceremonies of the street, and it's deconstructing the situation as it unfolds and in advance of it unfolding, so that people are ready for shit. And that's another presentation that I offer to you. Once again, Vermin Supreme, college speaking guy, bring to me to your campus. I have many presentations. Be sure to check out my new book, I Pony, Blueprint for a New America. I'm sure we'll put the link in the thing or something like that, and you can check that shit out. When I got the new merch shop up front, you can buy the glitter ties, the stickers. All that shit. It's a fucking monster. You could vote for me. You could be an actual delegate. You could work on my campaign. You could be a staff coordinator. DM me, PM me, whatever, send me one of those private message things, and I'll find my filter and I'll plug you into the right zone. If you're from a particular state, type in the name of your state. and the number 4, and the name Vermin Supreme, and a group might come up for you there.
That's awesome.
That's
For
good to
that.
know. Yeah.
Any questions?
Oh, okay. There's a couple.
Okay, good.
Your opinion on the nap?
The nap.
Yeah.
Let me say that the nap is once again, because as I had stated earlier, I come from a left anarchist perspective, and the nap is something that I agree 100% with. I come from a non-violent direct action history. I was involved in non-violent direct action for the past 30 years. Nevada nuclear test site. I was a peacekeeper, peace trainer, and a de-escalator. So yes, the NAP, the non-aggression principle, and the principle of non-violence are indeed very ingrained and part of me. And one of the things that allowed me and invited me into to be part of the Libertarian Party, part of the Libertarian movement. Once again, I mean, perhaps it's something that a lot of those who on the left who participate in non-violent direct action, maybe they need to know about the NAP. Maybe we need to use the example of the NAP as an example to those who live and support nonviolence. And so I believe there's a lot of opportunity for outreach. And I believe there's a lot of opportunity for libertarians to reach out to the left and the right. Because obviously we have a lot to say to each side. And yet we don't want to say, come on over and try and, toss your shit on us. But, but we want to say, listen, we got these things in common, and you may want to consider working with us on these various levels, or at least have an understanding that this is what the Libertarian Party is actually about and what it stands for. So, yeah, for sure. The NAP is, I'm down with it. I mean, once again, now I'm not going to say that, that revenge fantasies aren't normal. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, people taking vicarious, little thrills from, certain little fucking memes or fucking viral little things. And, I'm just saying, once again, that's not really, violent. That's not really a violation of the NAP. Now, that's just like getting a little vicarious thrill or a little, thing. So I'd like to, let's separate reality from reality, okay?
Right.
No,
right.
yeah, yes. I totally know.
Andy wants to know if you approve of anything that Trump has done. Do you like anything that he's done in his presidency so far?
Well, once again, he's pretty much done his best to, I don't want to come off like Bill Well praising Hillary Clinton, mind you. So I ain't gonna do that, Bucko. You're not gonna jab me into that. That's some sort of trap. That's a trick. But okay.
I'm so glad I mentioned Andy's name for that one.
But of course he has really he's fucked with the government really hard, and as so once again, as an anarchist, I mean, all about fucking, government crashing down, and I think the Libertarian Party is about less government. So I mean, it comes down to what's the transition times about? How does the transition occur? Is the transition, total pull the rug out from fucking everything and watch it fucking crash, or does it need to be as Mr. Adam Kukesh puts forth, an orderly dissolution of the federal government? So is what Mr. Trump doing a orderly dissolution of the federal government? I think that is open to debate, and I think I will be that disingenuous. Thank you.
I love that, yeah.
People want to know also, where can they get a signed, how do they get a signed book from Vermin?
Autograph book? DM me.
Oh, okay.
DM me.
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, I'll look it up. I mean, I'll have to mail it to you, personally, of course. but I do have a stack of them right here. So, you'll just give me an address, and I'll tell you how you can pay for it and stuff like that.
Make it happen. That's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna promote all this stuff all week. So
I'm eating the sushi.
I think people are really enjoying this right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Once again, I'm just going to say, if you have not seen this movie, it's this movie right here. Let me see if I can get it in front of the camera. Stupid. Can you see that, sort of?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Who is Vermin Supreme? Is that
Who is Vermin Supreme? It's on Amazon.Prime. You can see it on YouTube for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
I think it answers, it'll answer probably a fair amount of questions. Makes me look like a little bit of a folk hero. Puts all the silly shit into some sort of perspective.
That's beautiful.
Definitely. Yeah, it is on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
So I mean, I would say, if you got questions, I think that movie has some answers for you.
That's great.
And of course, I'm certainly willing to engage, people who have these questions. People who have questions, and of course, I'm also looking for answers. I mean, because I don't have all the answers, but maybe you do out there. I mean, how can we sell the Vermin Supreme candidacy to put it in context and make the most amount of sense and make it understandable to those that are totally dead set against it, and so at least that they can understand where we're coming from.
I love that you even said that I don't have all the answers, because a lot of the want to
I'm just putting it out there. It's just
that
brainstorm.
They're always right. They know what's best. Don't question them. Like I really like that a lot. I think that's. I got to ask for Jerry. We got a kind of a debate going on in one of our private groups, but do you like mayonnaise?
Pardon?
Do you like mayonnaise?
Manatee?
Mayonnaise?
Did you say manatees?
Not manatees. Mayonnaise on a sandwich.
The condiment.
Oh, mayonnaise. I'm sorry. I thought you said manatees. I like manatees quite a bit. They're really cool critters. Yeah.
But how do you feel about mayonnaise?
I believe it goes great on a manatee sandwich.
There we go. Look,
we all win, Jerry. We all win. Yes.
Totally
Okay.
didn't alienate anybody.
No,
but
definitely
everybody
not.
at the same time.
It's all in the pandering, people. It's all in the pandering.
Yes. You're really good at that. So Holly wants to know, are you married? Do you have kids, grandkids?
I am married. My wife Becky of some 30 years, and no children, no pets, no credit card debts, and that's how we've been able to afford a very low rent lifestyle with those lifestyle choices. Quite frankly,
that's very nice. That's great. Yeah, no credit card debt.
Yeah, that's
beautiful. That's the
30 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but we had them for a while, and but it was hard work to get rid of them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here they go.
It's hard to get off that treadmill.
The next generation is here.
Yeah.
This one's ours.
Yeah, I just came here to say bye.
Are you guys leaving?
Yeah, we're leaving.
Oh my goodness!
Are you taking off?
Gotta give you guys hugs. Can't I have to?
All right, hey, thanks for stopping by, kid.
Okay. Oh, bye, boo head. You have like this huge stuff.
What?
Yeah, I dabbed. I dabbed and I enjoyed it.
Bye, Junior. I'm leaving you here.
All right, good time.
Well, I'm stuck in.
Do you want to talk anymore? You're welcome.
No, it's okay.
It's fine. Here, let me move, and you can sit down. And because you know what, the group wants to hear me too. So sit
Farewell.
down.
From me?
Baby, sorry.
No, I'm going to stay for like
Look
30
at this
seconds.
crowd.
We don't.
Thanks for putting up with
This
us.
is an entourage.
Oh yeah.
Right here. This is entourage. He brought this.
I don't want to talk to Vermin Supreme. I want to talk to Kodos. That was my.
Kodos. Kodos is not available right now. May I take a message?
Oh, what about Kang? You got Kang?
Then not available, but I'll relay the message.
These candidates make me want to vomit in terror. Look at he's playing with his boot again.
What is he?
Ah! No,
Vermin,
it's
not in front of the children.
I'm doing my Captain Kirk on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise as we're being attacked by lasers. Whoa! Whoa!
All right. Well, Boothead, I want to thank you.
Let's see you do it. Come on. Come on, people. Do a Shatner for me. Pretend you're being hit by laser beams.
Some random diamond. Some random diamond.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, damn the torpedoes. Fire them. Pew, 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 pew.
There's
Pew,
four
pew,
demons on screen
pew,
right now.
pew, 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 pew.
Who's that? What?
There's 4 Davids on the screen right now.
David.
Wow. That is a lot of Davids, people.
Why do I have to be pushing this side? I'm on
I
this
don't
side.
know.
David's.
This is the future libertarians want.
Ponies.
Well, Vermin, I've got to hit the road and drive back home to
Free
Syracuse
ponies,
before some lake
zombie,
effect hits this
zombie
region.
powers.
Uh-oh, yeah.
I hear that.
But I leave them in the hands of.
Well, when we get the weather domes happening, you won't have to worry about that.
The weather dome.
I ain't voting for that.
Pony.
Weather
Free
domes. Sounds safe.
Toothbrushes.
I like
It's unsafe.
safety.
Oh yeah.
Teleportation.
Do you remember there used to be a page called the Department of Homeland Safetyness?
So that's
Safetyness.
It was called the U.S. Department of Homeland Safetyness. It was always picking on all that stuff. It was really good, but it got zucked.
I'm right on.
They
Ah.
So nothing is
Yeah, the government, they decided that was no good, and they asked Facebook to Tower 7 it.
I know, free is not a
Your voice wants to come over here real quick.
Do you know what happens when you get Tower
Why is
7?
he doing
Tower
that?
7?
I don't
Hey,
think
Chompers.
I don't think he's up. Somebody said Fortnite.
Hey, Chompers.
Somebody just said Fortnite.
You know what it means when you get Tower 7?
Oh, green screen fun.
Do
Whee!
you? Do you know what it means when you get Tower 7?
What happens then, man?
It means they decided to pull it. They decided to take it down.
Well, it had to go, obviously.
I can actually.
It was in the way of the pony stables.
Damn straight.
All right, well,
Wait, no, I gotta get your picture. Can I
What?
use my phone? Yeah, I want to get your
And,
guys.
and that's another exciting project that I'd like to point out that I am working on. I have scientists that are working on an exciting new type of jet fuel that will melt steel beams. It's going to be very exciting.
Finally.
it's about time.
We're going to finally have
Lay
some
that
jet
conspiracy theory to bed right there.
fuel. They're going to
We're going to make
develop some
jet fuel that actually melts steel beams.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Hey, I'm going to read it. Can I read another bit of my book here?
Look,
Yes,
you see
please.
this cold sore? I got it from having Vermin Supreme on live stream.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see what's good here. Let's see if I can find a good piece for you. Oh, yes, here we go. I'm going to read you a couple more paragraphs. You're going to like this. It's a bedtime story, kid. Get ready. Okay. The goal was laudable, to provide a pony for every single American citizen, to create a world in which every American, regardless of age, race, creed, or income, was free to frolic and cuddle with their very own pony companion. Yes, the transition to a full pony-based economy was not an easy one. There were some grumblers, pony haters in the beginning. There were those that screamed, "Big government!" These malcontents had been dealt with swiftly and harshly. Many pundits argued that it would never work. They were sent to the work camps to be shown otherwise. They were impediments to the new utopia, examples of the dangers of old thinking. Speed bumps in a world that had no use for speed bumps any longer. To create a new world omelet, you've got to break an egg. Everybody prospered under the new pony-based economy.
How could you do this to me?
The field of ponynomics became a required course for the bestest and the brightest.
Like this.
One of the first acts of the new Vermin Supreme administration was the abolition of Congress. It was replaced with the High Council of Internet Memes as the legislative decision-making body. Of course, this was totally unconstitutional and stupid idea. However, at that time in American history, dissent had all but disappeared. The Supreme Court had become a literal rubber stamp. And the fact that all voting occurred on the internet gave a whole lot of weight to the premise that individuals who had gone viral and become internet famous were best equipped to represent the citizenry, having received so many viral votes. They also work cheap, much cheaper than the old
I
Congress.
wonder how many hours he could just keep doing this.
This is
for.
beautiful, though.
This could be like.
Thank you. That was about the memocracy, the forming of the memocracy, the new assembly of memes that takes the place of Congress as a decision-making body. I thought you'd like that because you're all like memes and shit,
Oh, I
right?
love it. I love it. I'm just saying that Facebook only gives us 4 hours, and you've got so much more to say.
That's very true. I don't know. We could cut it into 2 parts, or I could come back sometime. I've lost track of time. Where are we at? How much fun are we having?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. No, we're good. We're not even 2 hours into our full stream.
You can take a 10-minute break if you want. Or you could just stay and tell your stories, because I'm listening. I've just got to drive.
Oh yeah, I got to just reading a little bit from the storybook there. I can read a little bit more, or show you some more of the pictures, or
Actually, would you like to take a 5-minute break? Just we'll put up a little commercial on the screen. We'll stay here connected and come back.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I'm just gonna put on our please hold thing. All right, here we are.
Oh my goodness, we're back. I want to say thank you again to Dadman for coming over and bringing us food, but mostly for just coming over. Such a surprise and so exciting. And David got to play with Kidman. We got to hang out and talk YouTube stuff and gamer stuff, so I'm pumped about that.
Nice. I like it. It's a nice casual family show. It's really nice.
Yeah, right.
We'll have to cut it up for mass distribution. But.
We're very just, hang out. We like people. We love our group. We really, really do. We love the people in our group, and we love what they believe in and stand for. And I'm just excited that you're here to be a part of it.
Oh, it's great to be here. Tell me about how you get more into these things from the original group.
Oh, well, like Liberty Memes.
The page?
The page was run by, we call him Uncleman.
Peter and David.
Yeah, Peter and David. And Mike. And they, I don't know, I guess David wanted to start a community group. And so he did. And
he really took that community to heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Wanted to do more with that group.
What a wonderful thing.
It is. And the whole thing about Liberty Memes getting torn down, over and over and over again off of Facebook. Just, I don't know, it hurts because they had a lot of followers, people believe in them, and they just were part of that purge,
Right. Is there any way to keep track of the follow? I mean, can you keep track of who follows, or without losing that information when they delete?
I don't think so. No.
Really. Yeah, all we have now is this group, and they have a new page, Liberty Memes 3.0.
3.0.
That doesn't have nearly the reach that it used to, but it grew quick.
Yeah.
But this is how we kind of all stay connected. Is this group has been around since then.
No, Facebook has never been a useful tool for organizing. It sucks like that.
It's hard because you want to be out there in front of the people that you want to affect, with your memes and things, but Facebook just keeps changing their rules, and you can't talk bad about Hillary, so your whole page is going to get torn down because you posted a picture of her with Tide Pods or something.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's just it's open to too much manipulation. It can just take an organized crew of trolls to take a page down.
Yeah, it's sad.
It really, you can.
It really is.
You've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm looking here now that we're back. Does anyone have any questions in the comments here? It's going to take about a minute before anybody can type anything, and I see it.
No, you had your list.
I know my list is still upstairs.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had a chance to get that yet.
Yeah, I know. I was only up there like 8 times while you've been on. And I keep forgetting. But that's okay because I feel really comfortable here chatting with you. This is a lot of fun. And I did not get to hear the last part of the book that your book you're reading. And that's okay.
I can read another part if you like.
You absolutely can because I think people love that. And I wondered if you were ever going to do the audio version yourself, where somebody could listen to it on Audible.
I would like to, and another reason that Facebook is so horrible. I mean, this gentleman had offered, and then it's like down the memory hole. It's like I couldn't find that person again if I wanted to,
Yeah.
I mean, they just get like 1,000 messages below Facebook Messenger. What a piece of shit. Why are there no files? Why is there no place to somehow sort these communications? It's
right.
Don't get me started. But here, let me show you one of the pictures from.
Now, who did this artwork?
That's the Secret Dental Police.
Oh, yes, every 100 yards, right? Or a couple hundred yards. Wow.
Yeah. And they're conducting mop-up operations. That's early in one of the campaigns, of course.
Okay.
Okay, so this is chapter 3, which I'll be reading for you, or a portion of chapter 3, but it's a very important part of it. Focus down here. Get ready for this story. There were harsh political realities when President for life Vermin the First took office. During the days of his ascent to the White House, there were over 300 million Americans living within America's previous borders. At the time, there were only 200,000 ponies in the whole country. It was a recipe for civil unrest. And those were not just political realities. These were realities. There was a very stark choice to make. Would it be the mass execution of some 299,800,000 plus Americans in order to achieve proper pony human parity? Or would it be something, or would the answer be something else? It is certainly true that such a mass execution would create jobs. It would also lessen the country's dependence on foreign oil. It would be good for the environment. But there were some clear drawbacks to consider. Mostly they were merely questions of ethics and public relations. During this time of widespread civil unrest, all options were on the table. The Dental High Command was put on high alert. The dental re-education camps were readied. Homeland Dental Security coordinated with the nation's dental police departments. The militarization of America's dental police forces had been a great idea that was about to pay off, and not just in lower incidences of gum disease nationwide. There were riots in the streets of numerous cities. The pulsating water pick cannons knocked rioters off their feet and knocked the plaque right off their teeth. The population was demanding their ponies that were nowhere in sight. It was a time of heightened international tensions. No one would have blamed Tyrant Supreme if he had ordered the National Dental Guard to carry out a full-scale massacre of the civilian population. It was high time, actually. The veneer of civility that had protected Americans from such real political unrest for quite some time was wearing thin. The quaint and oft-repeated notion that it can't happen here was truly just a lack of imagination. It didn't help at all that recently installed Dictator Forever Vermin Supreme was completely and utterly insane.
That's
Thank
beautiful work. That is beautiful work.
It is, and I love how you read it too. You know,
It gives.
you really should.
So you get to imagine my voice when you read it. I guess it's
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
why I want an audio.
audible.
Yeah, audio reading where you read it.
Yeah, I think we'll make that happen. I hope I can find that that person who made that offer
Right
because
into my ear. Yeah, Dave
it's
can help
gone.
you out with that. He's good at stuff like that. Peter Gay, who is admin one of Liberty Memes, has made some awesome music lately. We have a couple of his songs I think to share tonight, but I think you might appreciate some of it because when I'm listening to
That's what was playing when you came in.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Indeed.
I love
It
it.
does different genres,
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Dave's trying to squeeze all the ginger slices out of the thing.
There's a lot of Vermin-based music also, I might add.
Oh, is there really?
Yes, if you type in Vermin Supreme song, I don't know. But if you go to SoundCloud or Bandcamp and type in Vermin Supreme, you will come across any number of fan
Oh, that's
appreciation tributes, I guess. Can any other libertarian candidates make that claim?
fun. I don't know. I don't know that they can.
Maybe Ron Paul.
Maybe Ron Paul. Yeah.
Maybe not all. Yeah.
So, when you go out, like you just want to go get a cup of coffee. I mean, I'm assuming.
Is there any normalcy in your life?
Do you play?
Oh,
do you put the
absolutely.
boot on?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the nice things about this level of or fame or celebrity or something. Without the boot, people don't recognize me, and that's a very nice thing.
Oh yeah.
I got a little famous in my hometown. I always avoided being in the local papers. My idea was more to think globally or act globally and ignore locally. But I don't know. It has not a big deal. But if I want to see who knows me, I'll put the boot on. If I'm bored at the airport, stick the boot on. If I want to make a wave, because I can walk across the college campus without the boot. Nobody knows me. Put the boot on. It's a selfie mob. My voters come out.
Oh, now tell me, when you fly, do you go through the TSA and do all the boot and make a big deal?
Yeah, generally when I don't fly, I don't fly with the boot on my head. Generally, it doesn't fit in the airplane quite often.
Yeah.
But the last time I flew, the TSA agent did recognize my name, shook my hand, thanked me for running, and wished me well in my next run.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's great.
And that was not the first time. So
Yeah.
so there's that also. There's
Now
that level of name recognition where random TSA agents
Yeah.
would.
Okay, so your thoughts on the TSA, because Dave doesn't want to fly because he's irritated that it's a government run program. If the airlines selected and hired their own private companies to do that kind of stuff, that would be fine.
If you had a choice.
Yeah, what is your opinion on that whole thing? Because it's government run.
I'd agree. I mean, yeah, it's intrusive, it's annoying, it's obnoxious, and of course it seems not to work with the number of guns that actually get through. I mean, people test it all the time. Yeah, it's theatrical, and I don't know what the government's involvement in it for.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we need another national federal police force? I don't think we do.
Another one.
But I will say that, I think it's part of the normalization of getting people to kowtow to authority. I think it's people, getting people to fucking, take your shoes off, for God's sake. I mean,
Conditioning.
really.
Conditioning, yeah.
Of course, I have fun with that, setting up checkpoints at various demonstrations and the like, conventions and delegates renting. And I will create a checkpoint and ask the people to have their dental records for immediate inspection and to have their security credentials for casual perusal. And please, people, don't take off your shoes for national security, and please get prepared to drop your pants for your TSA full-body cavity search. Remember, it's in the name of national security, and it's part of Obamacare. So that one is that's quite that's a lot of fun to play with. I've actually had people take their shoes off because I'm doing it through a bullhorn and use my authoritative voice and stuff.
Yes.
Your results
so
that's your PCP.
Good. And for the actual TSA, I used to all the time. I would just sort of not want to go through their scanners or retain my Fourth Amendment rights and all that. And these days, I just want to get through the fucking airport, So I guess I've been conditioned in that sense. It sort of sucks, but it's just fuck it, fuck that.
Yeah.
I remember one video I was watching the other night when I was making a montage where you said that you had to pay for your First Amendment rights there, but you've had to pay more for your First Amendment rights, so I guess that wasn't too bad. I think that was when you were crossing the streets.
I might say.
Oh, the crossing of the streets, yeah. Now, who?
Oh yes, that is truly a classic bit. That one, Hofstra University. There's actually a fourth crossing that happened between the it was actually a third crossing that was not Steve the cameraman didn't realize we were going across because it was so spontaneous, and so he wasn't there for that. So we had to actually restage it. So we actually did it 4 times before the cop finally came out and gave me that sob story about his boss and shit.
Yeah. Hey, you got to plug one of these batteries in, because I need my nicotine. Okay, so Dadman is on the road, and he is saying, play one of Peter's songs, play one of Peter's songs, play one of Peter's songs, play one of Peter's songs.
We play Peter's songs.
Sounds like a request.
I think so. I mean, I guess. So what do you have?
I'm glad he wasn't like that when he was there. Play Peter's song, play Peter's song, play Peter's song.
Right.
I just have the one.
It. You only have
the one that I already played.
The one that Brian did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Can you make another one? Okay, play it again for the people who... Play it again!
I guess we have to play a song.
Yeah, we gotta play a song, because Dadman brought us sushi and has provided this beautiful environment for us.
Right. We'll obviously have to have that updated for 2020, because it's 2016 here and there, but...
Yeah.
That's the problem with those dated memes. They, not so evergreen.
You have to keep updating them.
Can you tell how many people write you in? Do you know that?
Well, there is pretty much absolutely no way of knowing any accurate figures, and mainly because the writing laws are so different in so many different states, and in a number of different states, those votes are not counted. And quite frankly, that is one of the only campaign promises that I've ever been able to keep, is that a vote for Vermin Supreme is a vote completely thrown away. And in many instances, it's literally thrown away. So there's that too.
But you know what, though? I mean, for me, in voting, I don't know. I used to do the whole, like, lesser two evils and blah, blah, whatever. But now I just go and I say, this is who this is who I'm voting for. Like
or nobody, or
I write people in.
Vermin Supreme,
whatever.
or Ron Paul 2012.
Yes.
You got to put the two.
Well, with a little bit of luck, I'll be on their ballot, and you can pull my lever.
That's doing a thing, Dave. Is that?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at the other screen over here, but I would love to see this happen. I'd love to see you get like a.
Get huge.
Yeah,
to get that federal matching money.
Yeah.
Screw the libertarian parties.
That is part of the nomination seeking process, but not as. But if for some crazy reason I do not end up in the nomination, I'll still be able to spend the money on stupid shit, I think.
Yeah. As long as you waste it, I'm happy.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. So I'm going to a couple different conventions. I just had a nice time out in Arizona. I visited with some fine libertarians there. We had a libertarian karaoke night.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun. I like to pick out a random song and a song that I think will illustrate some rant that I might have, and then have them play that song and use the song as the backdrop for the rant. And not usually, I don't usually even write parody words to it, or I even reference it too much. I did a version of Floyd's Money, and I just ranted and raved about the currency. And then I did a version of Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash, which I just ranted about what hellhole prisons were and how we need to abolish them and all these things. I do a version of Hey Joe that sort of involves Hey Joe, where are you going with that gun? You're going to do what? No, let's think about that. Let's not do that. Why don't you give me the gun? I'll give it back to you tomorrow. And you don't shoot your old lady. How about we just talk about it? I mean,
You're de-escalating, Joe.
Yeah, fuck around on you, but I still don't think you should kill her. That's just wrong. So,
just one way, maybe.
So it's essentially, deconstructing the songs for what they're worth, and then and I find that karaoke is a very it's a great place for revolutionary messages, because the people there are from all sorts of different backgrounds. They are there to listen to people sing badly and enjoy themselves. And if you can go in there with 3 minutes of ranting politics, but do it in a way that's sort of entertaining while it has some music in the background.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile project.
Amazing.
I love it. Okay, so there's before I forget, Sunny is the one who reached out to you, and I really want to send a big shout out and a thank you to Sunny.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sunny. Thanks for helping make this possible, for sure.
Yay. There he is. Thanks, Sunny. We love you. People are saying that you should do the Vermin Supreme Harambe ticket. That's how you should go.
Harambe.
Yeah.
Good happen. He's on my short list. As a matter of fact, in 2016, Matthew Silver was technically my human running mate, and Harambe, he was my living human running mate, and Harambe was technically my deceased primate running mate.
Oh, okay.
That's just a little known fact. I didn't push it too hard, but true. True story. Not making it up at all. Not at all. True.
People are asking,
I have citation.
what are your feelings and thoughts on the wall?
Well, I think we don't need a wall so much as a big, long container, a casino rather. A big, giant casino across the entire southern border. It wouldn't so much as repel the invaders as sort of attract them along the lines of a Roach Motel, where they would come into the casino. Now, once again, you got to pay to play. If you can pay to play, come on. If you can't, go away. You know what I'm saying? So, pay to play. Then you come into the Roach Trap Casino, which is just like a Roach Trap. I mean, they're going to be very nice places, very nice. And
we can't find
people potential immigrants would spend maybe a couple years or a predetermined time under some sort of indentured servitude, and when they have learned all the valuable skills about housekeeping and stuff, and running a casino and dealing blackjack and whatever, then they would get to go into the country. So not until it's sort of an assimilation program, if you will. So that's pretty much my take on it.
Okay. I have not thought of that.
Ryan's way into big casinos.
Oh yeah, Ryan wants to demolish Oklahoma and just make it one big casino.
It could work into that. It could be all connected. Part of the interstate roller coaster system, maybe.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That'd be the best. Can you imagine Dadman just getting on a roller coaster going back home to Syracuse?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. They're gonna go see the falls on their way back. He said.
And of course, we'll be. Once we're in a post-fossil fuel America, we'll be transforming all the obsolete oil pipelines into pneumatic tubes for transporting human hand ponies.
Oh wow!
Like the bank things.
Boy, yes, and just get in there. It's like that show on PBS I watch with the kids. Where they're like little detectives and they get into a tube and go.
I forget the name of them.
I think I like that. Have you ever been to Erie? Have you ever come to Erie, Pennsylvania?
I have been through Erie. Once upon a time, I was going through Erie on a bus, and it broke down on the highway.
All right.
Actually, I drive through there fairly regularly. My wife has people in Michigan, and a lot of times we go back and forth on 90 and 80 and stuff.
Yay! Oh wow, that's so cool.
And I believe that I am scheduled to attend the Pennsylvania Libertarian Convention coming up in March.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is very cool. That is.
So yes, we were having a meet and greet, I think, on Friday, and hopefully I'll be screening my film also. I'm waiting to hear if they will have the facility to screen the new documentary.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is so cool. Sorry, I just lost my thought. I got
That's okay. I had no thoughts.
But I think, might you go?
Might I go?
Were you guys thinking of going to the LP Pennsylvania Convention? You are in Pennsylvania, yes?
Yeah.
We are. We're in
It's
Erie.
a big state, though, so it depends on what corner.
Where-
Well, that's
whereabouts?
good.
Whereabouts?
Oh, jeez, I forget the name. I want to say Shipsdale or Barksdale or
I can look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
yeah.
It's hard to go anywhere with 3 kids.
Oh, yes, no doubt, really.
We gotta find a sitter for that kind of chaos, but
That would be cool. Yeah.
it would be. So do you? Oh, go ahead. Go.
I
No,
said
no, go ahead.
we've been not active in any kind of politics since 2012, where we got jaded after Ron Paul was done, and
Well, jaded political operatives are just my kind of people.
Right?
The kind of people I need on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely disgusted with politics. Yeah, come on over. Let's do it.
welcome home.
Right. I think that's what happened, and we saw like this
The
beautiful,
railroading.
Yes, like he's saying, he's this beautiful caricature of all the shitty politicians. You know, it was really something. The first time I ever saw you on TV, of course. So now, do you have? I don't want to say a handler, but do you have somebody who does all the scheduling for you, or do you do this all on your own?
This part, yeah, pretty much. You sort of request interviews. I suppose eventually I might be needing a press secretary of some sort. I do have a booking guy, booking.vermin@gmail.
Oh,
If you're interested in anybody out there who needs me, for college gigs or one-offs or things like that, booking.vermin@gmail. I've been just getting some random invites to various conventions, so I'm trying to meet them. I'm just trying to work it so that it's not that I'm not spending my own money.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I am blessed. I'm truly blessed to be in my career where it's not coming out of my pocket. Most of it, a lot of it, is not. A lot of people are putting up, and it's a beautiful thing, especially the touring thing. And I've got I've done several actual tours, a couple 2-week tours in 2016. One that straddled the election, and one that straddled the inauguration. And they were both about 2 weeks and hit at least 10 cities. And it's quite a thing to roll into all these various towns and meet all these fans that actually came out willing to spend money to see me, having no idea what I might do for a show, on the stage and shit. So it was a very cool experience. And I was traveling with Rob Patillo, my troubadour, and it was a great time. And look forward to hitting the road again. Actually, I believe in May we'll be touring again. We're going to be touring some sort of little mini rock opera thing, I think, with lasers, projections, and some live music behind me. And I think I might be going back in time and killing baby Hitler. So that'll be a very exciting tour. I've never really done a total production number like that. So that will be a very exciting turn of events, let me tell you. And hopefully we'll be coming to a town near you.
I hope so. Is this all on your website that we can find out when this is happening? Because I'd love to see.
Sure, it will be. Sure, it will be.
Yeah.
So Libertarian Party.
But it will definitely be on Facebook. It should be on my.
Okay, it'll be on
It'll definitely be on Facebook. Yeah, we'll definitely be making event pages and
Yes.
and all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
like that
good.
for sure. That's a go. The will the page be updated? Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But Vermin Supreme for President is my blue check mark on Facebook. So there's that. Vermin Supreme for President is sort of my official page. There's the Vermin Supreme Dank Meme Stash.
I'm there.
Which if you don't know about, you should definitely know about the Vermin Supreme Dank Meme Stash. That is there. A lot of, more new memes start pouring in towards the elections time, but, there's a steady trickle of memes coming in there. At Vermin Supreme on Twitter with the little at thing. That's me on Twitter. And I think I'm also on Instagram as Vermin Supreme for President, run by the same guy who runs my Facebook blue check page.
Nice.
And my homepage, but whatever,
Yeah. I'm still. Is it okay? I'm still in shock that we're talking to right now.
It's very surreal, and I've just kind of settled in.
Ha 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 ha.
Sanity.
And again, of course, iPonythebook, iPonythebook.com, iPonybook.com. Read all about it. The future, it's frightening. Glitter neckties, verminsupreme.com. Go to the donation page. Dental records, whatever stuff. DM me. I'm pretty. And once again, I feel like I'm a pretty reasonable person, a pretty reasonable candidate. Some candidates are pretty wacky. Some candidates are pretty far out there. They say things that frighten people away from the libertarian movement, maybe. But I think I tend to have a nice mix of flowing between shtick and reality. And I think if you check into any of my interviews that I've given over the years, I think that's clear. And I think most people who know me and know what I'm doing have an understanding of what it is, and there's a certain amount of serious underlying it, and I'm willing to share that and get that, and be a puppet for the Libertarian Party.
I love it. Be a puppet for the Libertarian Party.
This has gone so beautifully.
It has. We're probably going to go to bed soon,
Yeah, we should.
because we have a Pinewood
Oh
retreat for our
yeah,
son
it's getting a little late, I think. So yeah.
Will you?
Wow, yeah, it is.
Will you come back sometime and hang out again?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And feel free to come into the live stream anytime. We're usually
we're here
Friday
every
nights.
week. Yeah.
Come in and hang out in the comment section and freak everybody out because you're there. This has
Nice.
been.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for the chat. It's been really fun, really nice. I look forward to hearing the reviews, I guess, and reading the comments, perhaps, and seeing what people are thinking. And staying tuned to your page. I'll be checking out your page, and I guess I'll check back when I get something new or exciting, or some developments, or something like that.
We would love that. Thank you so much, Vermin. This was wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful night.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great time. Have a great night, and talk to you soon.
Thanks. Yes, I'm excited.
Hey, no, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.
Oh no, that's
Love you more.
love you more.
No, you hang up first.
That was great.
Oh my gosh! I just hung
Oh
up
my
on
gosh.
Vermin Supreme.
I know, right? My cheeks hurt.